chance in this game. Their owner, Harold Ballard, told them, if you win, I'll take you out on the town. But the 80-year-old owner also said, you'll have to take me with you. I don't know if they will. He might drive them right through the whole night and be the last one to give up.
Holloway wants to throw. Does to Paul Pearson, and Pearson makes the catch for a gain of 6. Leroy Paul, the cornerback on that side, just made sure that he didn't get up and run.
Well, the key tonight for the Hamilton Ticat defense, they have to put pressure on Conrad Holloway. That time they didn't get even close to him, and Holloway had all day to find his third and fourth receiver. That time he hooked up with Paul Pearson, late coming across the middle, but on that replay pointed out also Cedric Minter coming open.
It is 2nd and 4. Toronto the ball at their 51. The screen is set up for Bob Bronk. He's got the first down. He's into Hamilton territory at the 38-yard line. Gerald Best, number 14, finally makes the tackle. But a 21-yard gain on the screen pass to the big guy from Queen's University, Bob Bronk.
Well, one of Pat Marston's favorite newcomers in the league this year, Bob Bronk, took a screen pass. I'll tell you, he didn't even wait for his lineman to set it up for him. He was so open. That's what happens when Hamilton got caught in that man-to-man coverage. The defensive backs were deep downfield and couldn't react in time.
First down, Toronto, the ball at the Hamilton 38-yard line. The draw to Bronk. And he's wrapped up early by Carm Cartieri, but he still manages about 3 yards. There's a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
He made the tackle.
Well, you got a chance to see Conrad Holloway there. What an outstanding first half of the season he's had.
Here's the ball.
Offside, Hamilton, number 31. First down repeated.
Ben Zambiazzi was offside, so the Argos accept the 5-yard penalty, and it will be 1st and 5, Toronto. The ball at the Hamilton 33. The defensive line has a new name in there for the Hamilton Ticats, Will Simons, number 60. Simons from Tulane University. Terry Greer makes the catch and has the touchdown. There is a flag down at the line of scrimmage. Offside, Hamilton.
Number 75, Jeff Blanchard, the outside linebacker, jumped offside. That touchdown will count. And we talked at the beginning of the show, Pat, of what a big play man Terry Greer has been for the Toronto Argonaut offense since he's come back into the lineup. And no bigger play to get them off to a good start here in the first quarter. Conrad Holloway laid that ball in perfectly. Terry Greer getting in behind Leroy Paul. One of the things Holloway told me this week, he said, we feel we can work on Leroy Paul with Terry Greer. He's bigger than he is. He can go up and get the ball, and what an example of that. He just showed us right there.
6th touchdown of the year for Terry Greer. The point after by Andrew Sisson is good. And the Argos, on their first possession of the ball game, go for the touchdown, and they lead the Hamilton Ticats 7-0. We'll be back in just a moment.
Words "do it yourself" sound better with every repair bill. You know you need the right tools to do the right job. One tool above all deserves your attention now. It's called the Family Handyman. It's the practical do-it-yourself magazine with mind-jogging articles and step-by-step procedures for maintaining and improving your home. The people you read about are people like you. When you see how they did it, you'll know why you can do it and save. Professionals charge more than $13 an hour. Why settle for that when a year's subscription is only $9.95? You save over $5 off the newsstand price. Plus, you get this free guide to emergency home repairs that could save you hundreds of dollars. So call the Family Handyman now and nail down a bargain today.
Call toll-free 1-800-544-2000. That's 1-800-544-2000. 1 year, 10 issues is only $9.95 and satisfaction is guaranteed. Call today, we'll bill you. Or you can use your credit card. 1-800-544-2000.
From Texas Southern University, the 4-year pro Terry Greer gets his 6th touchdown reception of the year and gives the Toronto Argonauts an early 7-0 lead.
Well, once again, another look at a really good play by Terry Greer. He went up and took the ball away. What an outstanding throw by Conrad Holloway. Couldn't have put it in a better spot. And as Pat mentioned, his 34th catch of the year and 6th touchdown. Great start for the Argonauts.
The kickoff goes out of bounds, and the Argos will have to do it over again.
We see Zenon Andrusician there on the screen, and he's been under a little criticism here by the Toronto media as of late. And they have Dean Dorsey, a kicker, in on a 14-day trial who was just released by the Cincinnati Bengals, and you have to wonder if maybe the Big Z's feeling a little pressure tonight.
Well, he's been through this before, of course. He's the veteran of this Toronto ball club, having been with the Argos for 11 seasons. As Howard Fields, number 16, and Rufus Crawford, 21, now move up a few yards. And Andrusician will perform the kickoff from his own 40. Fields takes this one at his 9-yard line. And gets out to about the 34, which is where the Ticats will put it into play. Down quickly was number 36 for the Argos, Don Moan, whom they picked up from the BC Lions just prior to the start of the 82 campaign. So let's see now if that Hamilton offense can move the ball a little bit. They're going to have to, because the Argos look particularly sharp. You look at the Toronto linebacking and defensive back brigade. Nobody has played better than Zach Henderson, number 31, who really is the heart and soul of that secondary for Toronto. Clements takes the draw, sets up the screen to Braggignolo. Braggignolo has a first down as he crosses the 45-yard line. Jeff Gabrielson, number 72, and John Pointer, 37, are there to bring him down. But it's Hamilton's first down of this ball game.
Good execution by the Ticat offense. It looked like they were trying to set up a screen one way to Rufus Crawford, and Tommy Clements just turned and set up the screen to Mark Braggignolo. Good blocking out in front of him, and they, as Pat mentioned, pick up their first down of the ball game.
What a job that man's done. Bobo Bilovich, the rookie head coach of the Argos, at the halfway point. He's only lost 2 games. Clements, this one is complete for Crawford. And Crawford runs into John Pointer after he gained about 5 yards. But you can see that Argo defense is swarming. They're fired up. This is a big game for them. An Argo victory pretty well will assure them of a first-place finish. If Hamilton wins the ball game, the Cats and the Argos will fight it out right to the final game in all probability to see who wins the Eastern Conference.
You know, you get into a game of such importance as this one, and on the players' minds, definitely has to be to get off to a good start. I'm sure Tom Clements will just stay with that short passing game and try and get some ball control.
The gain was 6 yards in a 2nd and 4. Clements fires. The pass is complete to DiPietro. He has the first down across midfield into Toronto territory at about the 53. Gabrielson and Pointer again there to make the tackle for the Argos. Rocky DiPietro came into this ball game with 43 catches. The unusual thing about it is he only has 1 TD.
And I think another unusual thing about his statistics that he's only averaging 14.9 yards a catch, and that's maybe a little low for a slot back in the league today, but it just shows you the style of ball control that Tom Clements and his offense is trying to employ.
First down, Hamilton at the Toronto 53. Clements is going deep for Keith Baker, just beyond his outstretched hands with Don Rhodes, the sophomore from the Hampton Institute, the cornerback on that side, number 6, providing the defensive coverage.
Second down.
Tommy Clements, as you look at him, number 2, as Leaf mentioned at the top of the show, comes into this ball game having completed 65% of his passes. But the unusual statistic is he has thrown 16 interceptions and only 11 TDs.
Not a bad play early in the ball game to throw that deep one. Even though they didn't complete it, they accomplished the fact that they will go deep. It could loosen Don Rose up a little bit for Keith Baker on the out and curl patterns that he loves to run.
2nd and 10, Hamilton. Flag comes down as Johnson makes the catch. He would have the first down, but there is a flag at the line of scrimmage.
Clements pass completed to Ron Johnson.
That was vintage Tom Clements, rolling to his left, Throwing on the run, Johnson wide open, makes the catch, but we'll have to see what the penalty is.
Holding, Toronto, number 13. Decline, first down.
Darrell Wilson, number 13, the rookie from the University of Connecticut, was called for holding. The Ticats declined the penalty. They have first down at the Toronto 41-yard line. Exactly the kind of ball game we expected. The ball will be in the air 90% of the time, and this should be a high-scoring one. Purvis comes in motion, and Clements gives to Rufus Crawford on the first running play of the ball game for Hamilton, and Crawford gets about 5 yards. Jeff Gabrielson, number 72, makes the stop. Gabrielson, incidentally, coming into this ball game, as you look at Tommy Clements, is the leading tackler on this Argo club. He had 37.5 tackles coming into the game.
That's a play I don't think you'll see too often tonight. Rufus Crawford carrying the football. Tom Clements feels that the running play is really a wasted play. He wants to throw that football, and that's what they've had success doing.
He's got to throw it right now. It is 2nd and 6. The pass was just slightly behind Mark Bragagnola, and they roll incomplete. It looked incomplete to me. What did you think, receiver?
Well, they're always good when you're a receiver, but really I think it looked as though the ball touched the ground. Mark's Braganola is awfully upset. He feels he made the catch. Maybe we'll see from this angle. If he made it, it was a heck of a catch. But I don't know. I think from that angle it looked like it was a pretty good catch, and maybe Mark had something to be upset about.
It's like receivers drama school, isn't it, Lee?
Well, you got to let the referee know you're a little upset with the call every once in a while, Bill.
From the 44-yard line, Bernie Ruoff tries the field goal, and it is good. The Hamilton Ticats have hit the scoreboard on a 44-yard field goal by Bernie Ruoff. Bud Riley has to be a little more pleased. At least they had a good march. They moved from their 30-yard line all the way down into Toronto territory. And though they didn't get the major score, they got the field goal. So now it's Toronto 7, Hamilton 3. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hey, champ, got a heavy beard? Get ready for a knockout of a shave. Introducing the Heavyweight, new Noxzema.
You get heavy cream, heavy moisturizers, a new protected formula, close, comfortable shaves.
For the roughest beards, take on the Heavyweight, new Noxzema, and your face comes out the winner.
Henry Larson is terrified. He won't wake up tomorrow morning. You see, Henry doesn't trust his old alarm clock to wake him up on time. Now there's Timex alarm clocks. Timex, a name you trust for rugged dependability. 69 styles priced from only $6.95. After all, before it wakes you up, an alarm clock has to let you go to sleep. Timex, the wake-up that won't let you down.
A crowd somewhere around 50,000 here at Exhibition Stadium in Toronto. They're seeing a dandy, at least in the first half of this first quarter, as Bernie Ruoff kicks it away. And this is Cedric Mitter starting from his 23. And Mitter picks his way out over the 35 to about the 37-yard line. So now it's incumbent upon the Hamilton defense to stop Toronto. The first time the Argos got their hands on the football, they went for the major score.
Well, you know, a lot of people have different opinions about the 2-week layoff, and we had a chance to ask Conrich Holloway how he thought the 2-week layoff would affect his young club.
Well, I think it's the way you approach it, and with our young team, we approached it with the outlook that we had a game. By that, I mean we had 3 hard work days, and we had 1 light day, and the only thing that was missing out of our week that we missed was a game, actually. Sometimes when you have a veteran team, you tend to take more days off because you're going to do that. When we were so young, we just approached it as if we did have a game, and therefore we're right on schedule now with playing this week.
Well, it's kind of like a practice right now for the Argos because they're doing anything they want offensively. Conrad Holloway's pass to Dave Newman was good for 19 yards, and the Argos have a first down in Hamilton territory at the 52.5.
They have to be happy to have Dave Newman back in the lineup. What an exciting performer he's been over the last couple of seasons with the Argonauts. Injuries have plagued him, but early in the first quarter, he's getting the feel of the game now, and it's good to see Holloway going to him to get that feel of the ball game early.
4 for 4 is Holloway for 1 touchdown already. Sets up the screen to Bronk. This guy can lumber. He gets to the 45-yard line. Mike McIntyre, the safety number 26, was up there. So too was John Priestner.
Good play selection by Holloway. Once again going to the screen to Bob Bronk. That's an outstanding first down play because now they find themselves in second and short yardage situation. It certainly makes the quarterback's job a lot easier in his play selection.
The ball is right at the Hamilton 45. Second down, 2 yards to go. Toronto. On this, their second possession of the ball game, they lead 7-3. Holloway throws, and Greer couldn't hang on. The pass was right on the money. Holloway drilled it in there, and Greer simply couldn't hang on to it.
A matchup that the Argonauts want tonight. Terry Greer on Leroy Paul. This time Leroy Paul wins as the ball is a little off target, but certainly that's one of the things that the Toronto Argonauts have in their game plan tonight is to work on number 27, Leroy Paul, and I think he's a good cornerback. I don't know why they're going against him, but I guess they have to pick on somebody.
Let me tell you, if that ball was off target, then I want to see the quarterback that's going to deliver it much better. You receivers all stick together.
A little bit off target.
He should have had the ball. It is third down, and Andrew Sisson will be punting for the first time in the game.
Geez, I hope you weren't that hard on me when I was playing.
I was. Worse. The ball bounces beyond David Shaw, and it will go for a single point. Andrew Sisson gets the single point, and the Argos go out in front of Hamilton 8-3. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's back for a second great season on your Total Sports Network. The NFL Game of the Week starting Saturday on ESPN.
It's another great week of college football, 82 on ESPN. Sunday morning, Coach Lou Holtz leads Arkansas against Tulsa. Sackmaster Billy Ray Smith heads the Razorback defense charge against an upset-minded Golden Hurricane. And the Oklahoma Sooners unleash their high-powered wishbone offense for an ESPN 82 season debut. But they'll need defense, too, if they're going to get by a determined squad of West Virginia Mountaineers. Does Nebraska have the horses to capture a national championship? Quarterback Turner Gill leads a star-studded backfield against Iowa. Can the Hawkeyes upset the Cornhuskers again this year? ESPN's got the answer with College Football 82. Join us.
Your Total Sports Network. 3 times better and still growing strong. ESPN.
What a on with the Argos as they go on defense now, leading 8-3, and Hamilton takes possession at their 35-yard line. Clements quickly to DiPietro. DiPietro has the first down over the 45 to about the 49-yard line. Zach Henderson cut the legs out from under him, number 31. But, you know, we call this a shootout. That's kind of prophetic because with the exception of Hamilton's first possession, the teams have scored points every time they've had the ball.
Well, I'm not surprised when you put 2 good offenses together in one game as we have here tonight. You're going to see a lot of points scored, and Rocky DiPietro, very dependable performer for the Ticats.
First down to Hamilton at their 49-yard line. Clements throwing it up for Keith Baker, but he wasn't set. A flag comes down, and Don Rose is going to be called for pass interference. Well, he didn't have to touch Baker because there was no way he was going to get to the ball, but he did make contact. And so it's interference against Toronto.
Defensive pass interference, Toronto number 6. First down.
2 big breaks already for the Ticats. The first one, the holding penalty on Darrell Wilson. This time, cornerback Don Rose is called for interference, trying to hit Keith Baker on that deep one. And of course, if you remember that last game with the Toronto Argonauts, Keith Baker caught 2 long touchdown passes over Don Rose. It looks as though they're going with the same game plan.
Ball at the 32-yard line of the Argos. First down, Hamilton. The pass was Picked off by Zach Henderson. They rule no good. Will you hear the crowd on this one?
Excellent call by the official. The ball was dropped. It looked like Zach Henderson had a good shot to intercept that football. But as you'll see in our replay, I hope we get a good angle of this. Zach Henderson does not make the interception. The ball is tipped. And watch as he's going down. That ball's going to hit the ground. Yeah, he traps it.
Good call, Leaf, and a good call by the officials. Because to the majority of the people, Henderson had his back to them. And they couldn't see that the ball had come loose. Going deep for Rocky DiPietro and just beyond his outstretched hand. Can't come any closer without the touchdown.
You know, gentlemen, an interesting point about this Hamilton Ticat club, despite the fact they've had a slow start compared to last year, talking to head coach Bud Riley, he said last year under Frank Cush, he said, we worked so hard at the first half. He said in the second half, we were tired out. He says, I don't want that to happen to this club. We're going to finish strong.
Well, you were there. Do you concur with that, Lee?
I certainly do concur with that. By November last year, I was dead tired. All I wanted to do was go down to Florida.
Bertie Ruoff will try his second field goal of the ball game from the 38-yard line. And it's good. A line drive shot that just cleared the bar. It came out of there like a rifle shot. And so Ruoff's second field goal of the ball game is good, and now we have an 8-6 score. Bill?
Rufus Crawford is with me. Rufus, you've just come back after trying out in the Los Angeles camp. You haven't played in a game now since last year. Do you feel just a little stale?
Just a little bit, you know. I was down in San Francisco, and I hadn't worked out since August 4th when they released me, and because I had a hamstring pull. And so I've just been really rehabilitating it, and so that's what I've been doing so far.
Do you expect to do more pass receiving than you do running in this game tonight?
I think so. You know, the game is changing so much now, and most of the teams are doing mostly passing, so I would say so.
You have found that much difference, have you, between last year and this year?
A little bit.
All right.
A little bit.
Rufus Crawford, good luck to you this season.
Thank you.
Rufus Crawford, who, as he pointed out to us, was with San Francisco, of course, and now is back and hopes to do a lot of pass catching tonight. Leaf and pass.
Bernie Ruoff's kickoff comes to JoJo Heath. And Heath gets out to about the 37-yard line, not much further. Downfield quickly was number 39, Ed Gadavekis, to make the stop for the Ticats.
You know, getting back to that interview with Rufus Crawford, I think he's really a good addition to the Hamilton lineup tonight. He's an excellent receiver out of the backfield, and as Bill and Rufus talked, the whole CFL is total pass now, and you might as well have a back in there that's just like having a wide receiver, an extra slot back, and that's the one dimension that he'll add to their offense.
From the 38-yard line, the Argos begin. The toss goes to Cedric Minter. And Minter struggles his way to about the 41, not much further. He was grabbed by James Ramey, number 68, around the ankles, and he couldn't shake him off. So the gain will be about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7 Argos. And this first quarter has just flown by. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the opening quarter of an 8-6 ball game. There's the Eastern Conference standings. You see how important this game is. Toronto wins it, they go up to 13 points. They will have 5 more than the Ticats, but a Hamilton victory, and they are back within 1. Holloway fires. Pearson was wide open, has the first down into the Hamilton 48-yard line. Mike McIntyre from the University of New Brunswick made the tackle.
Well, the Toronto Argonauts, Paul Pearson making another big play. He's had an excellent first half of the season this year. You know, one of the things the Ticat defensive players told me before the game is they had to make Toronto work hard for their touchdowns, not give them the big play, and I think that was a pretty big play right there. But Paul Pearson's had an excellent first half, as I mentioned, and I think it's a pretty good hit there as well.
21 yards the gain on the 5th completion and 7 attempts by Holloway. The give is to Minter. And again, the Ticats wrap him up. Jeff Blanchard, number 75, along with Wilt Simon, number 60, the newcomer to that defensive line for the Ticats, there to make the stop.
Will Simon's an interesting story. He was with the Ticats in training camp and broke his foot. They sent him home. He's now healthy. They've got him back in the lineup.
Jim Muller, the Queens University grad who normally plays as a down lineman for the Ticats, is on the injured list. And that enabled Hamilton to get Simon into the ball game. 2nd and 8. Toronto. Holloway throws. Greer makes the catch and has the first down at the Hamilton 21-yard line. Again, Leroy Paul the victim.
Well, Leroy Paul and Terry Greer are going to have some battles all night. This time, Terry Greer wins this one. So we get a chance to see the end of the play, but Leroy Paul up in bumper run coverage, and Terry Greer made a little move and just blew right by him, and that's the matchup that the Argonauts want. Once again, another look, and Terry Greer just gets by Leroy Paul trying to give him a hit at the line of scrimmage, but he lost that battle.
21 yards the gain. First down, Toronto at the Hamilton 21. Oh, good move by Holloway initially, but he's put in the sack back at the 31-yard line. Grover Covington, Ben Zambiazzi, and Jeff Blanchard all there to get the quarterback set as the first quarter comes to an end with the Toronto Argonauts out in front of the Hamilton Ticats 8-6. We'll return with the second quarter in a moment.
It's Harry! I found the way to the gold. Pitfall by Activision. Quick to the Atari video computer system. Here, show us.
First, climb down the underground passage. Leap over scorpions.
Set. Swing over the swamp crocodile.
There.
The gold.
Did I mention the targets?
Pitfall, a jungle adventure game designed by David Crane from Activision.
Hey, Frank, gonna wager on the race? For a case of beer? Sure. What's your brand?
These boats will cover 200 miles before this wager's settled, but it's worth the wait, because it's for Michelob Light, that rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
You never beat us that bad before.
We never raced for a whole case of Michelob Light before. Michelob Light. Compare the taste.
I'm Johnny Bench. This is Krylon Spray Paint, the other leading national brand. And here comes my fast pitch, so watch close. Krylon Special Formula goes on smooth, just like a professional finish. And just 12 minutes later, it's dry to the touch. No runs, no drips, no errors. The other brand's still tacky after 1 hour. Let's see it again. Krylon dry after 12 minutes. Other brand still tacky after 1 hour. Did you catch that? Krylon, for a smooth, fast professional finish.
Oklahoma's Zach Henderson, an old teammate of yours with Hamilton. What a season he's had with the Argos. It is second down. Toronto, 2nd and 20 as Martin Cox takes that flanker screen and gets inside the 20 to about the 19. The Argos will be short by about 8 yards of the first down as Carm Cartieri, 47, and Mike McIntyre, 26, are there to make the stop.
You'll notice that Wilfred Simon's going back in. He was out for a little bit, and the problem was that he injured his left arm. It was just a bit of a crack above the elbow, but he appears to be fine.
Well, I think that showed the experience of Conrad Holloway. You know, he had 2nd and 20-odd yards to go for a first down, and rather than maybe force an interception deep, just trying to pick up the first down, he got some yardage back, and at least it sets up a field goal attempt by his kicker, and they're not forsaking any points in this case.
The field goal by Andrew Sisson from 26 yards is good. And the Argos go out in front of the Hamilton Ticats, 11-6.
Well, we have a little break in the action. I'd like to welcome all our viewers across the United States that are joining us on the ESPN network. And I know one interested mother in Alabama is tuning in tonight, Bud Riley's mother, who's 86 today. And Bud would like to wish you a very happy birthday.
And so would we, Mrs. Riley. And I'll tell you, Bud has had a tremendous career here in Canada. Now the head coach of the Hamilton Ticats, and he'd like to see his Hamilton offense score major. They haven't picked up a touchdown tonight. Their 6 points coming off the toe of Bernie Ruoff. But with the exception of that very first Hamilton possession, The teams have scored points every time they've had the ball.
But you know, Pat, the shortcoming of the Ticat offense all year has been that inability to get in for the touchdowns and settling, of course, on many field goals so far this season by Bernie Ruoff. That last one, I'm sure he's practicing for a heavy win someday. He hit that line drive, but really, I think that one of the key stories of the Ticats this year is their inability to score that big touchdown. They have to rely, of course, on Bernie Ruoff's team.
Zenon Andrews Sessions' kickoff is taken on the dead run by Howard Fields. Ooh, and was he slapped down? Steve Aykroyd and Freddie Nordgren, but there is a penalty flag on the play.
What a performer Steve Aykroyd's been for the Argonauts so far this year. You know, he just plays in a backup capacity, the 6th defensive back, and already this season he has 3 interceptions.
Illegal block, Hamilton, number 15.
Dave Purvis, number 15, with an illegal block. So that'll put the Ticats in a hole back at their 21-yard line. Conrad Holloway, what can you say, except he's had an outstanding season. He's completed 8 out of 9 tonight, including that great touchdown pass to Terry Greer.
What a difference a year makes.
Boy, that's for certain. Clemens quickly fires to DiPietro, and he'll be very close to a first down as Zach Henderson grabbed him immediately, but the ball was right on the money by the Hamilton quarterback.
That play is something that they've strictly picked up from watching films of the Toronto Argonauts. I know that when that linebacker, the outside linebacker in this case, Tim Berryman, moves outside, it leaves an opening for Rocky DiPietro, and an excellent call on first down.
You know, you were saying that the Ticats haven't been able to score touchdowns. One of the reasons is number 71 isn't there this year. My old partner, Lee Pedersen. First down, Hamilton, the ball at their 31. Clemens throws, Baker makes the catch. And he gets very close to the 40-yard line. He'll be short of the first down, but he'll have a gain of very close to 8. Gabrielson and Rose were there to make the stop.
That pass play that Tom Clemens just completed to Keith Baker was a direct result of what we talked about earlier in the first quarter about Baker going deep. He's running the quick out, and Tom Clemens is able to complete that pass because Don Rose now is thinking deep, and he gave Baker all kinds of room.
Gain was 8 yards. It is 2nd and 2, Ticats. Ball just about at their 40-yard line. Give us to Bragignola. He has the first down and lots more as he gets over the 50 to about the 51-yard line. A gain of more than 10 yards for Mark Bragignola. Darrell Wilson, number 13, and Zach Henderson, the reverse, 31, make the tackle.
Well, the Ticat offensive line with number 63, Marv Alamang, the right tackle, they do a good job sealing the Toronto defensive line down inside, enabling Mark Bragignola. I didn't realize now he's played 6 years in the CFL. Really, that's quite a long time.
Time flies. Clemens throws. It is complete to Steve Kearns, the newcomer from the British Columbia Lions, who gets another Hamilton first down. This is a guy they were delighted to get. Bud Riley was telling me they couldn't believe that BC would free him up, but they have so many Canadians on that fine BC club that Kearns had to go.
Tommy Clemens told me this week he was really pleasantly surprised when Kearns came in and joined the team at just how good a slot back he was, and also he does an exceptional job on the special teams. That's another reason why Bud Riley likes him.
First down, Hamilton at the Toronto 45. Clemens puts it up for Johnson, and it's just beyond his outstretched hand. Let's go to Bill.
I've got James Ramey, a member of that tough front four. James, what I want to ask you about is what you're trying to do and what you hope to do to stop Conrad Holloway.
We've simplified our defense a bit, and what we're doing...
Have a look at the mic there, James. Okay.
What we're doing is we're not concentrating as much on little bitty reads that we were doing. What we're doing is just getting off, taking the guy where he's wanting to go, take his momentum that way and go the other way, and so far it's working.
Are you going to do a lot of blitzing?
We're going to get to Connie. If that takes a blitz, it'll be a blitz. If it doesn't, then it won't. But we're going to try to get to him as much as possible.
Thanks, James.
Clemens fires. The pass is complete to Baker. He has another first down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line as Baker continues to work on Don Rose. 16 yards the gain. The 9th completion by Clemens tonight in 16 attempts.
Bob Abilovich on the sidelines has to be a little concerned. When Tom Clements gets rolling, it's tough to stop him, and it looks like the Ticat offense finally in the second quarter now has hit stride, and Clements is connecting on all his passes now.
Nobody would know it any better than Obi because, of course, he was with Tom Clements in Ottawa, and they both worked for George Brancato. First down, Hamilton, the ball at the Toronto 30-yard line. Clements fires. He was looking for Johnson. Heath tried to make a diving interception, but he could not come up with the ball. Ron Johnson, coming into this ball game, had 27 catches, 3 of them for touchdowns. He had a big, big game against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Certainly right. He caught 3 touchdowns, if my memory serves me correct, in that ball game. This time, he and Tom Clements unable to hook up, but I think you have to credit some of that defense to John Pointer, who was coming on a blitz. He got in and Clements awfully quickly, and Clements didn't have the time to let the pass pattern develop.
10 minutes left to play in the first half. It's just flying by here. It is Toronto 11, Hamilton 6. Ticats with a 2nd and 10 from the Toronto 30. Touchdown, Rocky DiPietro. What a pass by Clements. Right on the money, and DiPietro hauls it in for his 2nd touchdown pass of the year.
Well, as you can see, there's a lot of people that have made the drive over from Hamilton tonight to Exhibition Stadium. They're on their feet. They're happy because Tom Clements is hooked up with number 23, Rocky DiPietro. One of the problems the Ticats have been having is scoring touchdowns. They have to get more production from DiPietro. They've got it tonight in the second quarter, a 29-yard touchdown.
The first major score for the Ticats, but it puts them into the lead. And Bernie Ruoff's point after is good, and so now Hamilton goes out in front of the Argos, 13-11 for the first time in this ball game.
And when we look to our Panasonic play of the game at the end of the game, we'll have to look possibly at the touchdown by Rocky DiPietro, putting the Ticats into the lead.
All right, it's Hamilton 13, Toronto 11. We'll be back in just a moment.
The season is right for professional football from Canada. The passing, the scoring, the all-out wide-open game. It's here for a 3rd straight year. The CFL, only on your Total Sports Network, ESPN.
There's a lot about the business world you can't learn in any textbook. You learn it here, the Wall Street Journal. Today's business, always current, always timely. Believe me, it's required reading.
Get all the business news you need when you need it. Get the Wall Street Journal, delivered every business day for 6 months for $47. Just 37 cents a day. Phone toll-free, 800-228-3300. That's 6 months, $47, only 37 cents a day. Phone 800-228-3300 now.
Bernie Ruoff is set for the kickoff, and he drills it down. Let's see who it comes to. This is Cedric Minter, who starts from his 10. And Minter just takes it straight upfield to about the 33-yard line, so that's where the Toronto Argonauts will put it into play.
One of the toughest jobs for a linebacker is to cover that back one-on-one. We asked Ben Zambiese, how will you plan to defend Cedric Minter?
Well, to cover Cedric Minter, I think you have to get a bump on him before he releases off the line of scrimmage. He's a very quick back. He's not extremely fast, except that he does have good moves and great balance. And you just got to tie up with him a little bit and rough him up a little bit before he gets off the line of scrimmage and hope for the best.
All right, let's see what happens. A good explanation by Ben, an outstanding linebacker for his entire career. The pass is complete to Newman. He takes quite a shot from Carm Cartieri, but he hangs on to the ball, and he'll have a gain of, well, about 7 or 8 yards.
We've seen some great hits already in this first half of football, and Carm Cartieri really puts a lick on Dave Newman, saying, glad you're back.
Well, as you mentioned, Dave, his first year in the CFL, he was the Rookie of the Year in the Eastern Conference. He was banged up most of last year and hurt most of this season.
Let me tell you, when I played with Hamilton, they always wanted to put the hits on Newman.
2nd and 3, Argos. Holloway's pass is complete to Pearson. He gets a first down, pulled down by Jeff Blanchard, but there is a flag on the play. Holding appeared to be the call against the Hamilton Ticats. Here's referee Ross Perrier.
Holding Hamilton, number 16.
The holding call is against Howard Fields. So the Argos will have a first down just inside their 50-yard line. We've got 8 minutes, 40 seconds left to play in this half. It is Hamilton 13, Toronto 11.
Argonauts, I think, is explaining to the coach why he's not able to get out in some of those pass patterns. You know, they've left the backs in for some extra blocking protection. And I think that's why you see Tom Clements getting a little more time to throw.
Is complete to Pearson for another Toronto first down. The hit was made by Mike McIntyre, but Pearson, the leading receiver on this Toronto club, coming into this game with 34 catches, grabs another one for the double blue right now, and that is his third reception of this ball game.
Well, Paul Pearson just finds the open area and stays there. Takes a good hit from number 26, Mike McIntyre, the rookie from the University of New Brunswick, but there's no one better in the league than Paul Pearson at hanging on to that football in traffic.
First down Argos at the 41-yard line. They fake the draw to Cedric Mitter. Fire to Bob Gronk, but a flag now comes down late. James Ramey had the screen perfectly covered, but we may have a roughing the passer call against Jeff Blanchard, number 75. This is the biggest and the noisiest crowd I've heard in Toronto.
Major foul, Hamilton, number 75, roughing the passer.
Well, that was the penalty against the newcomer from Rutgers University, Jeff Blanchard, the 6'2", 230-pound linebacker.
The Ticat defense has switched to a three-man line, inserting number 75, Jeff Blanchard, as a linebacker. They put him in there because they feel they get a better pass rush with him. Unfortunately for Blanchard, that time he was a little late, and hence the roughing penalty.
What a night Conrad Holloway's having. 10 out of 11 for 172 yards so far. First down, Toronto. The ball at the Hamilton 26-yard line. Holloway throwing for Terry Greer, but Leroy Paul was with him. And I'm not sure that Greer necessarily was the intended receiver. It might have been Cedric Mitter who was streaking downfield as well. Bill?
Rocky DiPietro is with me. Rocky, that was a sweet touchdown. Tell us how it was called. Stand up here, Rocky. Kent.
Well, initially it was supposed to be a pick. I was supposed to go and set a pick on the corner for Keith Baker, but they rolled up into a zone against us, so I just wheeled it, and Tommy was rolling out that way, so he just caught me at the last minute.
Passing game looking great.
Well, so far it looks good. Looks like it's going to be an offensive game, so we got to come up big a few more times.
Thank you, Rocky.
Thank you very much.
From the University of Ottawa, Rocky DiPietro. Second down and 10. Toronto at the Hamilton 26. Holloway's throw for Terry Greer. Touchdown. Is he any good? His second touchdown reception of the night. Good for 26 yards. Conrad Holloway, 11 of 12 in passing, throws another strike to Greer.
Leroy Paul and Terry Greer have been having a battle so far in this first half. Unquestionably, Terry Greer's winning that time, a 26-yard touchdown reception.
The point after by Andrew Session is good. The Argos are back out in front.
Well, we talked about it once again. We saw Terry Greer make a move and go by Leroy Paul earlier in the ball game. Again, the same thing, this time to the inside. It just shows the outstanding athletic ability of Terry Greer.
Toronto 18, Hamilton 13. We'll be back in just a moment.
They bought a new Nissan Sentra, Wally.
We need that wagon.
Nissan Sentra. More power per pound than any other wagon with gas mileage this high. Room for a family of 5, 6.
We need it, Wally.
New Nissan Sentra. You need this car.
Let's get it, Doris.
Not strongly or driven.
You are looking at the most important innovation in gas home heating in 40 years. Lennox Pulse Heating.
Take it from Dave Lennox. This new Lennox Pulse furnace uses less gas, up to 42% less. It's the world's most efficient gas furnace. How about that?
Attaboy, Dave.
Call your independent Lennox dealer today. He knows the future belongs to the efficient.
Rufus Crawford is number 21, Howard Field 16. They await the kickoff from Zenon Andrusishin as the Argos have gone back in front 18-13 with 6:55 left in the first half. Crawford allows the ball to go out of bounds. If you've just joined us, let me just tell you that with the exception of Hamilton's first possession, which was the first possession of this ball game, each team has scored every time they've had the ball. There have been 7 possessions since that time, and there have been points that have resulted from all of those possessions. Quite a ball game.
We call this game a shootout, and we certainly haven't been disappointed. Pat mentioned teams going just up and down the field. I'm really enjoying this. One of the better games we've had to do this year.
Well, it's one of the better games we've had to do in a long, long time in the Eastern Conference. I can assure you of that. Let me just correct Conrad Holloway's passing statistics. 11 of 13, 198 yards, 2 touchdowns. Toronto 18, Hamilton 13. 6:55 left in the first half. This will be Crawford from his 15-yard line. A great downfield tackle for the Toronto Argonauts by number 23, John Lowe, as he contains Crawford inside the Hamilton 30.
Well, we have a chance to see the offensive line coach of the Argonauts, Bob Paulsick, and what a great job he's done with that offensive line. They've really afforded Holloway the time to throw the football, not only this evening, but all season so far.
That entire coaching staff has done a remarkable job. Clemens comes out now, having completed 11 of 18 for 128 yards and 1 touchdown, as he starts from his own 28-yard line. The crowd hasn't let up from the opening kickoff. The draw to Rufus Crawford. And Crawford is over the 30 to about the 33. He'll have a gain of 5. Tim Berryman, number 41, the linebacker on that side, and Freddie Nordgren, number 49, make the tackle. It's only the 5th running play of the ball game. Rufus Crawford gets 5 as Clemens tries to keep that defensive charge of the Toronto Argonauts honest. He's got Ron Johnson at the top of the formation, Keith Baker at the bottom. He fakes the draw to Crawford, now sets up the screen for Bragignola. And Bragignola has a first down over the 40 to the 41. Zach Henderson slid in there from his free safety spot to make the tackle, 31.
Excellent execution by the Ticat offense. And watch number 54, Ross Francis, and number 59, Ed Fulton. Ross Francis just puts a tremendous block on number 72, Jeff Gabriel, giving Mark Bragignola some running room, but the offensive line of Hamilton's doing an excellent job so far this evening.
First down, Ticats from their 40. Clemens throws, and is the pass complete? Yes, it is, for another first down to Keith Baker. And they rule he made the catch at the 52-yard line. Well, that was a great throw by Clemens. He kept the ball low, and an equally fine catch by Keith Baker because he had Don Rose all over him.
I can tell you from our vantage point, it looked like the ball was a one-hopper, but from our great isolation shot there, we can see that it definitely was a good catch by Keith Baker.
Clemens going for the marbles to Baker. It is picked off by Darrell Wilson. Wilson makes the interception at the 7-yard line.
Well, the first mistake of the ball game by Tom Clements. I think he was fooled by the Toronto Argonaut coverage. He was expecting man-to-man. They were back deep in his zone. No chance for Keith Baker to catch this football. The only one that could was Darrell Wilson, and he makes the interception.
With 4 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first half. Toronto 18, Hamilton 13. We'll be back in a moment.
It's like a great day. What are you going to do?
Play tennis. Get a new swing set.
Anyone want to compare insurance policies? Wait, Allstate could make it worthwhile. And very easy. Just drop off your policies at Allstate the next time you're in Sears. And we're going to do everything to see if Allstate can give you a better value. Oh, got good news for you.
You do? He does. Already?
See what Allstate can do for you. Put yourself in good hands.
It's going to be a great trip. Ooh, hey, hi.
No matter where people go, Conoco helps them get there. Our motor oils protect trucks over the long haul and farm equipment against the worst conditions.
Have a good trip.
A Conoco lubricant even protects the space shuttle. We use the same technology to make super and all-season motor oils for your car. Conoco, hottest brand going.
Tonight, an equally big one tomorrow when the Calgary Stampeders visit the Blue Bombers in Winnipeg. Who do you like in that one?
Well, I don't know. Tough defensive team, Calgary. Great offensive team, Winnipeg. It should be an excellent matchup.
From the 7-yard line, Holloway has some time. Flags come down. We'll probably get a holding penalty against the Argos. That's the preliminary call, holding against Toronto. You'll notice Coach Obilovich is a very calm and cool guy on the sidelines. He knows exactly what he wants. Here's the call.
Holding, Toronto, number 63. First down repeated.
John Malinowski, the right tackle, is called for holding, but I was saying about Obilovich, he's waited for this opportunity for years. Now that he has it, he really thinks he can do a job here, and he's done a job. They won 2 games last year already. They've won 5 and tied 1.
If they stop the season right now, we said it last week, he has to be the coach of the year so far if they stop the season right now.
Let's not forget that Jack Goat has done quite a job with the Calgary Stampeders as well. Holloway throws. The catch is made by Pearson, and he goes down at about the 9-yard line. He took quite a bang from Gerald Best, number 14, but again, Pearson hung on to the ball.
Well, some great hitting on both sides of the football, but this is an extremely important series for the Ticats defense. They've fallen behind now by 5 points, and I think it's very important for them to come up tough now. If they're able to stop Toronto at this point, they'll get the ball in good field position.
With the ball at the 8.5-yard line, it's 2nd and 9. Argos, of course, had been marched back because of the holding penalty. Holloway swings it out to Minter, and he's forced out of bounds at the 15-yard line by Gerald Best. And the Argos will have to punt with 2 minutes and 59 seconds left in the first half. The score, Toronto 18, Hamilton 13. We'll be back in just a moment.
Huddle is here, a preview of your area's conference teams. Huddle is loaded and it's free. Be game ready. Take a look at the players, plays, and coaches that make the difference each week. Quizzes, contests, and cheerleaders worth cheering about. Get in the habit of being informed. Huddle has it all every week, and it's free. In the Atlantic Coast, Southeast, and Southwest conferences. Now at participating locations of these and other fine convenience stores. Look for Huddle free in your area soon.
Well, I don't know what the official attendance will be tonight, but it's got to be over 50,000 because the entire park is jammed. I mean, everywhere you went in Toronto this week, it was, can you get me tickets to the Argo games? Last year, no conversation around town. Today, this week, everybody's talking about the double blue.
Well, it's great to see the enthusiasm in Toronto, especially for the Argonauts. They played well, and they certainly deserve the support that they're getting now. And the fans are being treated to an excellent ball game, and the Argonauts have played very well at home this year, and a very entertaining product on the field to watch.
The Argos have not lost a home game in 1982 as Zenon Andrusishin prepares to punt. On 3rd and 2, he stands at his goal line for only his second punt of the ball game. This is a good one. David Shaw back at his 44-yard line. Shaw crosses midfield and gets to the Toronto 54.